Did you know that over 48,000 visa applications for Australia were rejected in just the first half of 2026? That's right, thousands of hopeful students, workers, and tourists were turned away, many for reasons they didn't even realize were a problem. Imagine spending months preparing your documents, paying high fees, booking flights, only to get that one heartbreaking email: your visa has been refused. And here's the real shocker: most of these rejections could have been easily avoided. Australia's visa process has become stricter, with hidden rules and unspoken red flags that catch people off guard every day. So what are the top 10 reasons behind these rejections? And more importantly, how can you avoid making the same mistakes? Stay with us, because in this video, we're revealing exactly what the immigration officers are looking for and what could instantly destroy your application.
Number 1. Incomplete or false documentation. Let's start with the most common and deadliest mistake people make when applying for an Australian visa: submitting incomplete or false documents. In 2026, the Australian Department of Home Affairs has introduced stricter cross-verification systems. That means every detail you submit, from your bank statements to your employment letters, is being checked, sometimes even with third-party institutions. You might think, oh, one missing payslip won't matter, or no one will find out if I tweak my work experience a little. But here's the reality. Even one small inconsistency can trigger an automatic refusal. According to Section 101 and 102 of the Migration Act, your application must include accurate and complete information. Any false or misleading details, even unintentional, can result in your visa being refused on the spot, and in some cases, you could be banned for up to 3 years from reapplying. Think about that. One small error, and your dream of going to Australia could be delayed by years. So, how do you avoid this? Triple-check every document before submission. Make sure your details match across all forms. Even spelling errors in names can raise red flags. Never forge or exaggerate. Immigration officers are trained to spot it. If you're unsure, use a licensed migration agent to review your file. Remember, the documentation is the foundation of your visa. If it's shaky, the whole thing collapses, no matter how good the rest of your profile is.
Number 2. Insufficient financial evidence. Let's move on to another major reason visas are being rejected in 2026: insufficient financial evidence. Here's the deal. Australia wants to make sure that anyone entering the country can support themselves without becoming a burden on the system. Whether you're applying for a student visa, a tourist visa, or even a temporary work visa, you need to prove that you have enough money to cover your stay. And no, just saying, "I'll figure it out when I get there," doesn't cut it. Under Regulation 1.15a of the Migration Regulations, applicants must provide genuine evidence of financial capacity. This includes bank statements showing stable funds over several months, scholarship letters or financial sponsorships, if applicable, proof of income or support from a family member with legal documents, sometimes even tax records or employment history. One of the biggest mistakes applicants make is submitting one random bank statement thinking that's enough. But immigration officers look for patterns. They want to see consistent savings, regular income, and legitimate sources. And here's something many people don't realize. If your sponsor is funding your trip, like a parent or spouse, their documents need to be just as solid, and you'll have to prove your relationship to them too. So, how can you avoid rejection? A. Show clear, consistent bank history. B. Make sure your documents are recent and official. C. If you're sponsored, include proof of relationship and your sponsor's financial documents. D. Never try to fake or alter bank documents. It's a guaranteed rejection. Having the right financial proof not only strengthens your case, it tells immigration you're prepared and trustworthy. Next up, let's talk about the genuine temporary entrant criteria and why many applicants fail this test without even knowing it. We put hours of research and real effort into these videos to protect your future, so please support us. Hit subscribe. It's just one click, but it helps us more than you know.
Number 3. Failure to meet genuine temporary entrant (GTE) criteria. Now let's talk about one of the most misunderstood parts of the visa process, the genuine temporary entrant requirement, commonly known as GTE. This is especially important for student visa applicants, but it also applies to other temporary visas. At first glance, it sounds simple. You just have to prove you genuinely intend to stay in Australia temporarily, not settle there permanently. But here's the catch. It's not about what you say, it's about what your documents and application show. Under Ministerial Direction 69, immigration officers assess a range of factors when deciding if you're a genuine temporary entrant, including your personal circumstances in your home country, your immigration history, your reasons for choosing Australia and the specific course or job, whether your course aligns with your past education or future career goals. Many applicants get rejected because their GTE statement is vague or generic, or worse, they fail to explain why they're returning home after their visa ends. So how do you avoid rejection? Write a strong, personalized GTE statement explaining your genuine reasons for visiting. Show clear ties to your home country, like family, property, job offers, or business. Explain how the visa fits into your long-term goals, especially if it's a study visa. Avoid copy-paste templates. Immigration officers see hundreds every day. If your application suggests that you're using the visa as a backdoor to migration, you're likely to be refused. The GTE isn't just a formality, it's a test of credibility. Nail it, and you're one step closer to that visa. Next, let's dive into reason number 4, poor academic performance or gaps in education, and why those unexplained breaks can raise big red flags.
Number 4. Poor academic performance or gaps in education. Next up, something that catches many student visa applicants by surprise: poor academic performance or unexplained education gaps. Now, you might be thinking, I got accepted by an Australian university, so why would they care about my grades or past gaps? Well, here's the truth. The Department of Home Affairs doesn't just look at your offer letter, they look at your overall academic history to judge whether you're a genuine student. If your grades are consistently low, or if there are long gaps between your studies with no explanation, immigration officers might question your motives. They may assume you're not really interested in studying, but instead using education as a way to enter and stay in Australia. That's why this falls under their genuine student criteria, and it's becoming a major reason for refusals in 2026. But don't panic. Having gaps in your education doesn't automatically mean rejection. What matters is how well you explain them. So how do you avoid this issue? Be honest about your academic record. Clearly explain any gaps, whether it was for work, medical issues, family responsibilities, or personal development. Attach supporting documents like medical certificates, employment letters, or even a personal statement. If your grades are low, show improvement or explain why this course will help you turn things around. Remember, they're not just judging your past, they're judging whether you're motivated and serious about your future. Don't leave gaps unanswered. When in doubt, over-explain, don't under-explain. Number 5. Inconsistent information across forms. You filled out your forms, uploaded your documents, and you're ready to hit submit. But wait, there's one thing that could quietly ruin everything: inconsistent information across your application. This is one of the most overlooked reasons for visa rejections, and it's happening more often than ever in 2026. Immigration officers are trained to spot even the smallest mismatch. Did you say you worked at a company from 2019 to 2021 on your resume, but your visa form says 2020 to 2022? Did you list a different home address on your GTE statement than the one on your application form? These might seem like minor errors, but to the Department of Home Affairs, they can appear as red flags, signs of carelessness, or even dishonesty. According to Section 102 of the Migration Act, providing incorrect or misleading information, even by accident, can result in immediate refusal. So how can you avoid this trap? Create a personal timeline of your education, work history, and addresses. Cross-check every field across your forms, resume, statement of purpose, and supporting documents. Keep names, dates, and places consistent to the exact spelling. If something needs to be updated, explain the change in a cover letter or attached explanation. Even if your profile is strong, small inconsistencies can lead to big consequences. It's all about credibility, and if your story doesn't line up, your application may not stand a chance. Number 6. Character concerns or criminal record. Now, let's talk about something that can instantly shut down your visa application, even if everything else is perfect. Character concerns or a criminal record. You might think this only applies to people with serious criminal histories, but that's not always the case. In fact, in 2026, even minor offenses like a DUI, shoplifting, or getting into trouble while overseas can lead to a visa refusal. Under Section 501 of the Migration Act, all visa applicants must pass a character test. This doesn't just mean avoiding prison time. It includes being of good character with no risk to the Australian community. That means if you've been involved in anything illegal or even had pending charges, your visa could be in danger. So what kind of things can raise red flags? Past or current criminal convictions, pending court cases, false identity use or fraud, associations with criminal groups, even repeated visa violations in other countries. But here's the key. Australia also believes in transparency and second chances. If you've had a past issue, don't try to hide it. Instead, be honest about your history. Submit a police clearance certificate from every country you've lived in for 12+ months. If you have a record, include a character statement, legal documents, and possibly references. Consider legal help or a registered migration agent to guide you. Trying to hide something will almost always lead to rejection. Being upfront, however, gives you a chance to explain and still be considered. Number 7. Failing health requirements. You might be surprised to learn that even if your documents are perfect and your background is clean, your visa can still be refused because of one thing: health requirements. Australia takes public health very seriously. Under Public Interest Criterion 4005 of the Migration Regulations, all visa applicants must meet specific health standards. The government wants to ensure that incoming visa holders don't pose a public health risk or create an unreasonable burden on the Australian healthcare system. So, what exactly could trigger a rejection? Having a communicable disease, such as tuberculosis. Needing ongoing medical treatment that may cost the public a lot, example, dialysis, organ transplants, etc. Conditions that require long-term care or support services. Any condition that may limit your ability to work or study. But don't panic. Having a health issue doesn't always mean automatic rejection. Here's how to handle it. Be honest during your health examination. Hiding conditions can backfire. Complete your medical assessments early in the process. If there's a problem, explore the possibility of a health waiver. Some visa types allow this. Include reports from your doctor or specialist showing how the condition is managed. And remember, the goal isn't perfection. The government simply wants to know, can you stay healthy enough not to require high-cost care while you're here?
So if you're aware of any health issues, don't hide them. Prepare, provide evidence, and, if needed, seek advice from a registered migration agent or legal expert. Number 8. Risk of overstaying or previous visa history. Even if your current application looks solid, your past visa history can come back to haunt you. In 2026, Australian immigration is paying closer attention to visa misuse, overstays, and violations, not just in Australia, but in any country you've visited. If you've overstayed a visa before, applied for asylum after entering on a tourist visa, or been deported or detained in another country, your current application will go under extra scrutiny. Officers are trained to assess the risk of overstaying, and if they feel you might not leave when your visa ends, your application could be instantly refused. So what exactly raises red flags? Previous visa overstays, even by a few days. Multiple visa rejections from other countries. A pattern of applying for short-term visas repeatedly. Inconsistent travel history without clear reasons. Lack of ties to your home country. More on this soon. But here's the good news. A bad visa history doesn't always mean automatic rejection. To improve your chances, be honest about your travel and visa history. Don't try to hide it. Provide a clear explanation for any previous overstays or issues. Show strong evidence of return plans, like a job offer, family commitments, or ongoing studies in your home country. If you've corrected your past mistakes, explain how you've learned and moved on. Remember, immigration isn't just checking if you qualify, they're assessing if you'll follow the rules.
Number 9. Incorrect visa subclass or purpose. One of the most frustrating reasons for visa refusal in 2026 is also one of the easiest to avoid: applying under the wrong visa subclass or for the wrong purpose. Australia has over 100 visa subclasses, each designed for very specific situations, from studying, working, and visiting to migrating permanently. But here's the catch. If your intentions don't match the visa you've applied for, immigration officers will see it as misleading or dishonest. For example, applying for a tourist visa when your real plan is to look for work. Using a student visa as a pathway to settle with no genuine interest in the course. Applying for a partner visa when the relationship hasn't been clearly established. Under the Migration Regulations 1994, every visa subclass has its own criteria and documentation. If your application doesn't match the purpose of that subclass, or if it looks suspicious, it will likely be refused without warning. So how do you get it right? Do thorough research on the correct visa subclass for your goals. Match your documents, personal statement, and intentions with the visa's requirements. Don't apply for a shortcut visa, hoping to switch later. It often backfires. If unsure, consult a registered migration agent to avoid costly mistakes. This isn't just paperwork, this is about trust. Immigration wants to know that you're applying honestly and for the right reasons. Coming up next, let's wrap up with reason number 10, weak or missing ties to your home country, and how proving your intention to return home can make or break your application.
Number 10. Weak or missing ties to your home country. The final reason on our list, and one that quietly causes thousands of visa rejections every year, is having weak or missing ties to your home country. Here's why it matters. When you apply for a temporary visa, like a student, visitor, or work visa, immigration authorities want to see clear evidence that you intend to return home once your visa ends. If your application gives the impression that you might overstay, apply for protection, or use the visa as a backdoor to migration, it's likely to be refused. So what exactly are home country ties? A stable job you plan to return to. Family members who depend on you. Property ownership, like land or home. Business interests or long-term commitments. ongoing education or responsibilities. Many applicants fail to provide this information, thinking it's not required. But in 2026, immigration officers are being trained to look for signs that you might not come back, especially from high-risk regions. To avoid this red flag, include proof of employment or a letter confirming your return. Attach documents showing family obligations or dependents. Show property documents, business registrations, or academic commitments. Write a clear statement of intent explaining why you'll return. The goal is to answer this unspoken question: what's pulling you back home? If you can prove strong connections to your country, your visa application becomes much more credible and trustworthy. So there you have it, the top 10 reasons why Australian visas are getting rejected in 2026. From simple document errors to deeper issues like health, financial proof, or unclear intentions, these are the pitfalls catching thousands of applicants off guard. But now you know exactly what to look out for. Remember, visa refusal doesn't just cost you time and money. It can delay your dreams of studying, working, or living in Australia by years. The good news? Most of these rejections are completely avoidable if you plan ahead, stay honest, and pay attention to the details. If this video saved you from even one visa mistake, drop a comment with "Ready for Australia" in the comments below. We read every single one. And now, let's talk about how to strengthen your application and avoid these mistakes altogether. Avoiding rejection is all about being prepared, accurate, and honest. Here's how to protect your application. Organize your documents. Start early. Make a checklist of every required document, including updated bank statements, transcripts, ID proof, GTE statement, and more. Stay consistent. Ensure all your information across forms, resumes, letters, and statements matches exactly. Even small spelling mistakes or date mismatches can raise suspicion. Tell a clear story. Make sure your education, career, or travel plans form a logical and believable timeline. Use cover letters to explain gaps or unusual situations. Show strong ties. Prove you have reasons to return home, job offers, family, property, or continuing studies. Don't fake anything. Officers are trained to spot fraud. Instead, seek help from a registered migration agent if you're unsure. A well-prepared application shows you're serious, responsible, and trustworthy, and that's exactly what Australia wants to see. Before you go, tell us in the comments which visa mistake surprised you the most, or have you faced a rejection before? Let's help each other out. Check out our previous video where we reveal the top-paying jobs in Australia for international migrants. You don't want to miss it. Just one click to subscribe. It means the world to us, and it keeps the content coming. If this video saved you from even one visa mistake, drop a comment with "Ready for Australia" in the comments below. We read every single one.